What's good, guys? So today I'm gonna talk about three underrated link monsters from Duel Overload. There's a ton of link monsters coming out, but these three in particular, nobody is talking about it, and I want to talk about it. And the first one, I really don't know if this card's gonna see that much play, but I just think people are really hating on this archetype, this link monster. I know it's really late. The DDDs is one of my favorite archetypes of all time, and I just want to talk about this link monster because I do think it does help the deck immensely. So DDD Abyss King Gilgamesh. To make it, it's two DD monsters. If this card is special summoned, you could activate this effect. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except DD monsters. Yeah, I know, I hate it too. I don't know why they have to have like stupid clauses like that, but sure. Also, place two DD pendulum monsters with different names from your deck in your pendulum zones. Okay, so right there, that's an insane effect. That's a +2 right there. You're getting two cards to the field. Yeah, they're on your scales, but all the DD scales have crazy effects, and specifically Ragnarok, crazy effect. And if you do take 1000 damage, if this link summon card in its owner's control is destroyed by your opponent's attack or card effect, you could special summon one DD monster from your extra deck or graveyard in defense position. You can only use each effect of DD Abyss King Gilgamesh once per turn. So yeah, even that effect, I just love that they gave it a free floating effect. So many times going into the future, our field is gonna be this monster plus like two monsters underneath it, maybe a synchro, maybe an XYZ, something along those lines. And I think the field is very hard to crack. It'll be two negates, and you have to run through the field, and this card is going to trigger to summon another crazy monster out. The two monsters in particular. So DD's is a big combo deck. It's all like it's all three card combinations, and the two monsters that you're gonna summon are Wave King High Caesar and the Curse King Siegfried. And I think that's actually like a crazy field. If you have this monster and then underneath it is this guy that negates two special summons, and then Siegfried negates a spell or trap. I legitimately do think this deck is gonna see some rogue play, and I think this idea that this deck is just shit is not true at all. I definitely want to try this deck out. This is literally one of my favorite decks of all time. When I came back into this game, this was the deck I picked up back when there was only just two fusion monsters. It was just D-Arc and something else. I just love this deck. This is one of the few combo decks I've ever played in my life and just enjoyed so much out of it. Because it wasn't just like make this crazy field and the opponent can't play. There was interaction. It was just like 2-3 negates, and you have to time your negates correctly to end the opponent's turn. I do think this deck is very skill intensive, but definitely try it out. I'm happy we're getting it. I'm not going to complain about us getting it very late because DDs have always been screwed over for as long as I know. For the past 3-4 years, they've always been giving us the structure deck late. And Zoo came out, obliterated it. Yeah, everything's always come out a little late. I'm just happy we do get it instead of not getting it at all. So this was the first link monster I want to talk about. Okay, so second link monster, Mecha Phantom Beast or Radon. I don't know if I said that right, but a friend actually told me about this card. My friend Jack. This card's very generic, and it just has, whenever a monster just has so many good effects, I just know it'll see play. But to make it two plus machine monsters, and it is a link 3, so you'll need something else with it. If this card is link summoned, you can special summon 3 Mecha Phantom Beast tokens. Also, you cannot link summon for the rest of this turn. Once per turn, you contribute up to 3 monsters, apply the appropriate effects. So this is either going to be the last thing you do or part of a crazy combo where you already did your link summons and then you summon this at the end. And let me just get through the 3 different effects you could do. So you could, number 1, destroy 1 card on the field. Very good. It does not target. I always love effects that do not target. Second effect, special summon 1 Mecha Phantom Beast monster from your deck. Why not? You can summon O-Line or something, keep synchro. You could synchro and do other things. You just cannot link summon. Because imagine being able to link summon while you have 3 tokens. Like, that's just unfair. This would be just like the XYZ that's banned now. And the last effect is the one that's very, very nice. Add 1 trap from your graveyard to your hand. So I can definitely see some crazy combo deck where they'll make Curious or some way to get to a trap that is sent to the graveyard, and then you could pick it back up with this. I do think this card is really insane. Whenever a card just has this many different effects and they're just generic effects, it's not like you're being restricted that heavily. And one of the effects reads add 1 trap card from your graveyard to your hand. There are crazy trap cards in this game. Imperial Order, Anti-Spell. There's just trap cards that end the game. And I do think this card is very underrated. I do think this card is going to be in some crazy combo that I do not know about, but do not sleep on this card. I really do like this card, and good generic link monsters are always a good thing. I wish this was dark because you could definitely do so much more. If this was a dark machine, you could definitely do something in the Orcus with this card, but maybe that would be too broken. And then the final link monster I want to talk about, and my favorite of the three, Lib the World Key Master. Okay, so what the fuck is this? I think this card's really good. I think this card will definitely see play in a meta deck. I don't know which specific meta deck, but there's gonna be just this card is just generic. All these besides the first one, the second two link monsters I talked about were just very generic, and I love generic link monsters. I know people do not like their generic link monsters; they break the game. But this card is very generic. So two monsters, any monsters, it could be tokens, anything. Link 2 cannot be link summon unless you have a World Legacy card in your graveyard. So see, that's a restriction right there. I do like some kind of like restrictions when a card's gonna be this generic. You have to play World Legacy cards in your deck. That's the drawback. During your main phase, you could set one World Legacy spell / trap directly from your deck, but it cannot be activated this turn unless you have a World Legacy monster in your graveyard. I like that too. Like we don't need every deck just playing this and then searching some broken cards. If this Link Summon card is sent to the graveyard as Link material, you could shuffle one card on the field into the deck. You can only use each effective Lib the World Keymaster once per turn. And that last effect, I just love when cards, just like the first card, Gilgamesh, I just love it when cards just have additional effects that are just good. The spot removal, being able to shuffle one card away, very nice. Gets around so many different types of cards. And the first effect being you could set one World Legacy spell or trap directly from your deck. That's crazy. There's so many World Legacy spells and traps. There's so many World Legacy monsters in general. So there's just a ton of potential in this card. But a few cards that come to my head right off the bat: World Legacy Succession. This card's essentially Monster Reborn because this does point down. So you could search a Monster Reborn or the World Legacy Guard Dragon, which lets you Guard Dragon combo. I don't know if you guys remember a few months back, everybody was doing the Guard Dragon combo. They still are doing it in the Rocket deck. I think this card's really cool. Maybe it'll see some play in some kind of crazy variant where they implement these World Legacy cards in their deck. There's a lot of other World Legacy spells and traps that are just freaking insane. But yeah, just to recap, 3 Link monsters that I think are very underrated. The first one, Abyss King Gilgamesh. Yes, it's late, but just be happy it's here. I'm definitely going to be playing it. Maybe it's not going to be this tier 1 deck, tier 2 deck, but I'm going to have fun playing it. This is a combo deck that if you guys like combo decks that aren't just like Goki or Spiral ending the game in one turn, then try this deck out. It is very interactive and it's very skill intensive. Many of the decks that we play now are not that skill intensive. Then the next card, the Mecha Phantom Beast Aurodon. This good generic card, guys. If you play this deck, if you guys know what the Mecha Phantom Beast cards really do, because I really don't know anything besides O-line, comment down below and let me know what's going on. Is this good? Maybe Speedroids can also play because I know they're winds and machines and they can synchro summon after. That's really cool. And then Lib the World Keymaster. I definitely am going to be playing around with this one specifically because I have so many different builds in mind in my head right now to search crazy cards. This card's really good. I love it. Link 2, generic as hell. Guys, let me know what other underrated Link monsters that there are, which ones you guys are looking forward to. There's a ton. I'm going to have much more videos coming out about all these different Link monsters. There's just too many things to cover, but we could go on and on for hours talking about the crazy cards. I'm going to have discussions about that. Guys, stay tuned and subscribe.